Warning: this podcast contains strong language and viewer discretion is advised. The views and opinions of the host and their guests may be made in jest, but the mistakes made by plumbers that are portrayed and discussed in this podcast are serious.
Hi, and welcome to episode 3 of Gripes with Grumpy. If I look grumpier, it's because these two individuals that are joining me on the show today have been taking the absolute piss out of me because I'm old. I've seen 2 screens. I've been told to switch this off. I've called the technical department, but we're here now. And needless to say, I'm grumpier than ever before. But I've got a special guest today. No introduction. He's got a face for radio. That's one thing I've got to say about this individual. He's got a face for radio. Today, we got to put him on the screen. So please forgive me. I know we swear and we shout and we don't want to scare you, but Barry, welcome to the show today.
Thank you so much, Grumpy. Steve.
Hold on, watch out now. Barry, seriously, I'm coming up your side of the world there, Barry. And now I know why they keep you on radio. I see somebody's coming to help you there behind you. You got a spook there. Look at Barry's moment of shame there. Look at that. So, Barry, tell us about yourself and, where you've been, what you're doing.
Beautiful.
I know you're involved with a lot of things. So, welcome.
Yeah, so based down in Belito, the bustling development metropolis of KZN. We really have been keeping ourselves nice and busy, and then, obviously also uplifting and educating all our fellow plumbers and tradesmen in the area as well continuously. We've got a couple of wonderful photos that have been shared on via some of our friends in the local area and some of our own photos that we've discovered. And I think some of them are going to be quite shocking.
So, Barry, you're up in Belito. You've got quite a big business. Tell us about your business. Your general maintenance. What are you into? Where are you getting all of these things? Are you doing this work yourself? I mean, let's be clear.
We've got 15 vehicles on the road in the Belito area. We service from basically Sinkwazi down to Umshloti, and we have 4 teams that run development construction, from residential to commercial, and then the remainder of the crews are maintenance divisions, leak detection, drains, etc. And yes, Steve, I do still get my hands dirty. And
when you fall over on the golf course,
yeah.
Like you say to me, when you fall over on the golf course, okay. So now these photos, we got photos, videos that have come through. Hopefully they're going to be in a better mood than I've fucking been for a long time. But I'm hoping that there's some good diamonds. The way your face is, Barry. So let's kick it off. The way you're laughing there now, I think we may as well just close up here, Willem, and just say.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I don't know which one Willem's going to smack up first, but I think all of them are pretty amusing.
All right, okay. But I'm glad to see that you don't have a parrot on your shoulder or a mouse running around like the guest we had from the Cape, Georgie, the ventriloquist. So let's get going. Willem, let's hit us with the first one. Okay, Barry, here we go.
Righty, right. So just to break it down, this was in a agricultural estate or lifestyle estate that we have
in agricultural plumbing.
100%, like absolutely fucking shocking. The scary part about this particular photograph is this was the main water line on a pressurized system, normal residential pressure, for the house. We're talking now a 5-6 million rand house in a lifestyle estate, and this was the result of the plumbing work that was carried out on site. This was their main water line into their basement where their tanks were.
So what have we got here, Barry? We've got Jubilee clamps, we got wire. I'm trying to figure out, old age is creeping in here, and the eyes
Yeah,
are
so it looks like a 28 millimeter LDPE with nylon fittings, Jubilee clamps in some places, wire twisted in others, 22 millimeter master bats with that have obviously been squeezed open and then wire tied around them as well. You can actually see in the one photo on the right, the wire is actually squashing the pipe over the holder bat. Steve, in my wildest dreams, when a friend of mine sent me these photos, I was absolutely gobsmacked. I couldn't believe it.
But Barry,
That it was,
we're
sure.
talking about a lifestyle sort of estate type thing. We're talking multi-million rands, according to what you're saying. How the fuck do we end up with shit like that? Who's checking it?
Well, that's the thing. So at the end of an installation for occupation, we have our building inspectors that come through and check it. Fortunately enough, this particular plumbing contractor was removed off of site before
Would you
the
call him
building
a plumbing
inspector.
contractor? Would you call him a plumbing contractor?
Apparent plumbing contractor.
Okay, thanks very much. Let's just restate that. Okay, let's be clear.
Any person that calls himself a plumbing contractor and does stuff like that, unfortunately, should be removed from any situation. It's absolute bullshit. It brings down the name of every other plumber that's trying to do a work.
And obviously, we go back to price, Barry. I mean, what a reputable plumber would be costing and pricing for a job like that. There's some responsible, reputable plumber out there that didn't get this job.
100%.
Of that
Chalk and
type
cheese.
of situation, so it really is frustrating in terms of seeing this and how it's taking, the bread and milk and the roast beef or the packet of chips off the table of the responsible plumber. So let's hope you got another one for us, Barry. Lighten the load.
Yes, we do. I don't think there's any lightening of any loads here.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Well, I can't believe it. I can't believe what I'm seeing. I've seen some scary shit in my time, Barry, but this one here, this I should just go and I don't know.
So the even more scary part is this particular installation. As we get further along it, I think there's a photo that Willem will chuck up of the connection to the water meter, which I actually cannot explain. Okay, there it goes.
Let's go back there, Willem. What have we got there?
You cannot explain that to somebody, that somebody would have a water meter. They've literally put a hosepipe tail on the end of it and put a hosepipe adapter, click adapter, with nylon fittings and a piece of hosepipe. What the actual fuck?
But Barry, looking at the work that's been done there, what would you expect?
I would expect.
I don't know why it would shock you that they would do this. This is just.
I know it's good standard practice.
That must be his norm. Buy a 30-meter hose from the local hardware, and that's your water line.
Just do our water meter connections with hose pipe because it's nice and flexible.
Yeah, maybe we'll get a fitting that'll connect on, or a bit of tape and masking tape or whatever, and have bushy will travel. But that's shocking. That's real bush plumbing that's gone into that installation.
So this is the same property, and these are the water connections. So the exterior of the building was supposed to have that rustic brick finished vibe in certain sections to give it that farm feel. And then there was supposed to be very nice and neat surface mounted copper piping, holder batted with copper holder bats, etc. And this is what the guy ended up with, was a mishmash of stuff that was just thrown all over the place. Yeah, it's gobsmacking, You've got giant craters broken through holes. There's no coring bits that are used. The water pipes could have been very easily drilled through the wall with a nice 16 mil drill bit, making it nice and neat. A horn bend with a vent valve on it, please, guys. I mean,
Yeah, Barry, when I look at this is like, yeah, I don't believe that this is an estate. I think you're talking caca. I think that, that the way in which this has been done, who inspected it, who checked it. And this is the problem. This is happening more and more. We see it all the fucking time where, great, fancy, and then the plumbing is cuck. There's not even a plumber on site there. And nobody that would even call himself a plumber would deliver workmanship like that. I find it unbelievable.
Steve, I always go back to that whole thing. Like any tradesman that has any form of integrity inside him stands back, looks at his job, smiles, has a big smile on his face and says, fuck yeah, look at that. I'm proud of that. That makes me feel good that I did that. And that is a thing that is starting to disappear in this industry with those so-called plumbers. They just don't give a shit. All they want is their money. They move off and they leave a bad reputation for every other person who's trying to uplift standards, make things better.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying, Barry, is, you're going to have everybody gets tarnished with the same brush, which is really cut. And therefore, why we need compliance, why we need, to adhere to standards, because clearly in terms of that installation, nothing that from what you've shown us complies with any way, shape, or form. And it goes back to, who's checking, who's doing this. Did the client, go and do their due diligence in terms of finding somebody? Was there a certificate issued on it? Who checked it? Clearly from what you see, it's supposed to be rustic. Well, that's not fucking rustic. That's just shocking. That's what they fucking got. But there's rustic and then there's absolute rubbish. And I think that's what they've got there. But frustrating. I think for our members and our plumbers out there that see these things, and we don't make this shit up. This is, like you said earlier, these are real installations that consumers have, and you go, fuck, what's going on?
Yeah.
What's happening?
No, well, fortunately enough and lucky enough for the owners of the property, the guy was removed off site kind of at that stage. But the unlucky part for the customers, now they're paying whatever they paid him, and they probably overpaid him because they thought he was a nice guy.
Yeah.
And now they've got to bring in a plumbing contractor, and that plumbing contractor is going to have the arse pulled out of him because they now have already spent part of their budget, or most of their budget on their plumbing.
That comes with that, and I've had a couple of those, and maybe you can share your point. We've had a couple of cases from PILB, IOPS's side, where a contractor gets kicked off, and then they get a new contractor coming in, and they go, okay, can you fix this up? So what we've seen in the past is some of the stuff's done, other stuff is left behind. But then at the end of the job, when things start going wrong, it's well, I didn't allow this, I didn't do this, So, in my opinion, in this job, and I hope they did, was rip everything out and start again.
Yeah, that's exactly what they did. They started from scratch.
Perfect. Have you got anything else that's going to make my hair stand on end?
Yeah, Willem's got a couple of other scary looking things there. I'm sure he'll throw something up now.
Oh, here we go.
So that's the same building, and I'm sure we're coming to the end of this building. But that over there is all the water connections that's coming from the main line. So the beautiful LDPE main line with nylon bushes and Jubilee clamps. Coming in, and the entire property, by the way, was piped up in 1/2-inch multi-layer with no inserts. May we put that in there as well? So yeah, beautiful. Look at the sink mixer. Look, you just
come on, Barry. I'm sure you did this in your fucking yard at the back just for today. Seriously.
Steve, as sad and scary as it is, this shit is real.
Harry, this guy's got to get the finger. That guy's got to get the finger. You know, there is nothing that I can say or do here that other than give him the finger. I mean, I know he got the boot, but Barry. I mean, we can laugh, Barry, but it's serious. It really is serious in terms of how it degrades our plumbing industry, where you've got so many individuals that are passionate, that really want to do the right thing. And you got to compete with fucking shit like this. You know,
Steve, I couldn't agree with you more, man. Couldn't agree with you more. It's
right,
very
degrading. To the end of this building now. Have you got some other building that you want to show us, or are we still?
I believe that's the end of that. I know there's one more.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah.
Very seriously.
They went for the Victorian rustic vibe, right?
Fucking Victorian rustic vibe. They should have had just a bucket in the corner and something. That's what they should have done. Oh God, Barry, I think you make this shit up for us. I've got tears running down my fucking eyes now. Yes.
I mean.
Oh yeah. Okay. So what did you actually find on this job that was actually right, Barry? I mean, I'm looking at it and I'm going, you can't make this shit up, but fucking hell. These are
so the one photo that you saw previously with the basin and pedestal, the mixer was fastened onto the basin quite well.
So that was right, eh?
Yeah, that was okay.
Well, let's give the subcontractor he brought it to help him put the tap on did it right. Oh, Barry, I don't know.
Too funny.
I think you're getting the thumbs up for this one in this house. You know, and I'm sure there's going to be some horror stories coming out of that store. But I'm glad that the homeowner is now got somebody else that's going to do it right, and we can learn stuff from this. Is ask the question, the consumer ask the question, check the credibility of the individual. There's no way on this day and age that you can't check a plumber out.
No, 100%. And I mean, that's why one always keeps telling people, you know, PRB, registered plumbers, for that little bit of extra security, go with a IOPSA member. You know, you've got that little bit of comfort and security inside you that the contractor is legit and above board.
Yeah.
So
what else have you got that's going to make my fucking grey hairs grayer? Have you got?
Well, I think our next photo, which I saw pop up earlier, was also sent to me by a friend of mine who some handyman plumber dude had a leaking geyser that he went to attend to, and this is how he fixed it. He turned the water off and then used marine silicone to seal the geyser and charged the clients $800 to do that. And I think it was a matter of days later, it started leaking again. And a friend of mine went and sorted out and sent me this rather amusing photo as to think how somebody decided to fix a geyser with silicone.
But Barry, how many times have we seen this? You know, how many times do we see this have nut job will travel? You know, this plonker goes up there and thinks that marine silicone is going to solve the fucking world's problems. You know what I mean? I mean, seriously. And to charge them for $850, knowing that you're going to get that phone call, by the way, it's still leaking. How do Oaks fucking sleep at night? How do they sleep at night?
I don't know, Steve.
You know,
I don't know.
Okay, you know, I got my $850. I was going to phone me. I'm going to get another pay-as-you-go number and fuck him. You know, get somebody else to go and sort this shit out.
No, but that's the thing. You know, like people call someone and they'll come out and they'll look at it and they'll go, "Oh yeah, no, we'll make a plan. We'll make a plan to sort that out for you. No fucking problem. We'll make a plan. As long as I get my bucks in my pocket, I got my shit and I'm out." Where the rest of us are going to look at that geyser and go, okay, well, we're going to open the flange up, have a look. Is it the gasket? Well, clearly it's not the gasket, it's now the actual cylinder. Sorry for you, out it comes. But, you know, let's make a quick buck. Why not?
But then you got to ask the question of the color of the guy that put the silicon there. I mean, there was a job, $8,000-9,000 worth of work there. It's a legit one. Yeah, the tank's leaking.
No, but clearly the person that did that job was a handyman, run-of-the-mill guy, and he was not a qualified plumbing contractor or a reputable plumbing contractor. Or the other aspects of it, he was one lazy ass so-called plumber that thought he would just get in and out quickly and actually had no clue.
You know, we live and learn on a daily basis. All right, so I know we're getting to the end of where we are, Barry. Anything else you've got to share with us? I mean, you've scared the shit out of me and half. You got two more.
I think there's two more photos that we're going to have a look at.
I've just got one photo for these oaks that you've got. There's a, you know, seriously. And, you know, we haven't actually, you know, gone and had a look at the Doors box. But these oaks of yours are definitely getting both. I'm telling you now. Barry,
so Steve, I've heard of like 50 mil pipes going into gully traps. But I haven't heard of a gully 110 mil gully trap have a 50 mil pipe coming out of it. And also with, I don't know whether they were trying to sell something.
I don't know if they've even tried to trap it twice there, Barry. I mean, when a trap,
it's all
I mean, this is an intelligent.
So we got called out to site to the gully was blocked. So and they had some building contractors around past the house, and you know straight away you go, oh well, you know, the good old fashioned thing, let's go clean a bucket out in the gully and throw all the cement and towel grout and whatever ends up going down there, and it's settled in the bottom. But fortunately enough, we think it's relatively soon we'll be able to get it cleared up. So we get stuck into this gully and we start and we loosen things up a little bit, and we realize at the bottom of it actually rock solid from a previous bit of work that had happened. And we contacted the client and said to him, listen, unfortunately we have to remove the gully. And when we dug the gully open, we found that. And it was like one of those moments where you sit there and go, what the fuck?
Yeah.
What the fuck? And it literally went from the 110 mil gully trap to the 50 mil pipe to a strap-on boss onto the 110 mil sewer line.
I'd say strap-on. Clive Van Heek is going to get excited with that word strap-on.
Strap-on.
Strap-on, strap-on.
So I mean that for me was like an award winner, seeing that. But the next one was even more fun. This kept us busy for a good week. So Willem, if you can chuck up the last one for us. So Steve, this
lost for words in terms of what these oaks are doing in your part of the world. I really am.
Yeah.
This.
So the unfortunate part about this particular one is I know the plumber that actually did the work.
Is he at the bottom of that trench?
He's immigrated now, so he's no longer
somebody else's problem. He's somebody else's problem. Okay, he's gone down under like his job.
Yeah. So this over here was a discharge from a sink, a dishwasher, washing machine, and a prep bowl. And that was 2 meters underground underneath the courtyard concrete slab. And we took a pretty substantial amount of time trying to locate this thing with cameras and the locator and all sorts of funny things because the prep bowl got blocked. So the prep bowl has one of those food gobbler, food processor, sinkerator, whatever you want to call the thing, in it. And obviously because of all the menagerie of bends, etc., this blocked up. There wasn't enough water flowing through the system. and we couldn't get it unclogged. It just would not sort itself out because of all the 90-degree bends.
So Barry,
So-
this now, obviously you have to do repairs. I mean, this is a mission, with depths and everything else and gullies and access and, what did you do? Like, okay, we have to make a plan. What changed after that? I mean, obviously it didn't go back the way it was.
No, definitely not. So we obviously have a bad situation that we try to make a little less bad.
Bad, yeah.
So the 110 mil vertical riser coming up, we put an access point on it, so that line could be accessed if there was a blockage in that immediate area. We then connected each 50 millimeter pipe with a 2x4 Y junction and removed all 90-degree bends that were in that area and connected everything with 45-degree bends. And then went into the apartment and double checked and tested and flushed. And we also went and disconnected items like the sink trap and the prep bowl again, and then put the basin spring or your 50 mil spring down to see whether it penetrated out on the exterior where it joined into the 110, which it did. So then at that stage, we felt that we had reached the point where we had a bit of a compromise for the client,
Yeah. But, Barry, and we're going to close up, because I think you fucking shocked me enough today in terms of shit that we've seen. I think I'm going to have to, by the way, this is straight sort of Pepsi, but, after the shit that you've shown us. But, Barry, it goes back to it. How was it passed? Who checked it? Where's the pride? Yeah. Which surely when you stand back, as you said earlier, standing back, looking at that job and going, hey, you know what? I'm happy with it. Yeah, I'm sorted. But that, just digging a hole, using whatever you've got, backfilling and leaving and creating that stuff. I mean, that was an expensive repair. I mean, when you say complexes, there's possibly more that have the same problem.
Yeah, there's 35 units in that complex that are both the same.
And where's the pride? Where's the applying the standards? Where is that? I mean, I know you've made the best possible plan, and I go back to the architectural, and I go back to how it was designed with the relevant inverts and how it's done. That problem should have been addressed right at the get-go when that was first done. How are they going to accommodate those wastes? How are they going to do this? And it certainly can't be fucking bush like what they put there. It's just unacceptable, brings our trade down. And you may find that plumber that's gone down under to Aussie might have argued the toss with us saying, I can't do this, but it's aesthetics over compliance. We see that so often, but it really
gets forced into the position.
Yeah, that's it. Well, Barry, again, I want to thank you very much for today. I thank you, Willem, for coming along. Barry, keep those photos coming. I really do appreciate all the effort and the time that you put into this, and for joining us today and sharing some real fucking cuck stories here, Barry. It's like, seriously, hopefully our next guest in the next program will have some stuff that we can go and say a plumber worked there. But Barry, I thank you. I thank you for all
no problem
that you do and joining me this morning. Thank you very much, Barry.
Shot, Steve. And all I can say to everyone watching this is, guys, your pride. Stand back, have pride, have passion for what you do. Love it. I wake up every morning and I can't wait to go to work, and that's the way it should be. So, Steve, thank you to you. Shot, man.
Thank you, Barry. Thank you, everyone. See you at the next episode. Thank you very much.
Ciao, ciao.